Hello, I'm Jeffrey. This is AutoAlchemy, and I'm here with
Hillary.
Hillary is joining me for my OPS typing series. She helped me out last week. We looked at Samuel L. Jackson. I can't even
I know. It's Samuel, and we all
Samuel
know it.
L. Jackson. And we learned a lot. I think from that attempt, that experience, and
We're typing separately this time.
right,
So
yeah, that's the main
how we've
takeaway.
approached it. So we can just
Yeah.
get on in.
Yeah, we each watched the video, we took some notes, and now we're going to watch again and chat about what we saw. So, part one, typing in anticipation of the class results. Part two, reflecting on the results. Let's get into it.
That's what I'm talking about. Welcome back. Tim Allen. Oh, yeah. It's a pleasure to have you back. Thank you for being here. Oh, you look good.
It's just great to be here. It seems like it's been 10 years.
It is, right? I wanted to ask you, by the way, I know you're good friends with Jalen, and he just got out of the hospital today.
Great.
Really quick, do you want to say the thing that you had said before? This is our
I know I contemplate it. We've had a hard time
getting
recording
started.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that's interesting to me there is that Jimmy Fallon is complimenting Tim, and he just like completely dodges it, and he does it again later. Just
Right.
like if he's registering it, he's not caring to give it back or
Receive
it in
Yeah.
any like not known way.
He's not even very reactive to the applause necessarily. Like some people walk
Yeah,
out
he's
and
not.
they put on a little bit of a show, right?
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what a great humble guy.
So humble.
Yeah. Who knows? So we'll keep going. And so now he's been asked about Jay Leno, who apparently he's close to. So.
They said he's one of those heroes. Remember the Deadpool villain that couldn't feel pain?
Yeah.
He's that guy. I saw him. I called him. The day of the accident, our shops are close to each other. We play around with hot rods and stuff. And the campus called said Jason had a bad accident. And I don't know what he do. He's going to the hospital. I don't know what he's going to do. All I can do is leave a message. He calls back 5 minutes later. Hey, Tim, what's going on? Oh, sorry, I heard you were in a bad accident.
Yeah, burns all over. Everything burns in my hand, my face, everything.
Well, what are you doing right now?
I'm holding the phone. It's really painful.
Okay, so did you have anything you wanted to say about that little stretch?
One of the first things I wrote down is he's just talking about I don't know. I wrote down talking about friend, reliving convo for audience. It's using the words like hero. He's jumping around already a lot to try. It seems like to me he's painting this impressionistic painting.
Like a little bit here.
Yeah, a little
bit
here, a little
there.
here, a little here. Now you know what I'm talking about. Let's go.
Right. Okay.
But I feel like for some people they might be like Deadpool, what? Like, or like, how does this connect to this? And I don't know. The first thing I wrote down was play question mark, and then the talking about the friend, hero. I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely gravitated towards he's one of those heroes, he's a hero.
Yep.
And then he's like that villain, which is kind of like a funny contradiction. He's like
Oh,
that
that's
villain who
interesting.
feels no pain. Now I
Did
don't.
you say villain?
Yeah, he's like that Deadpool villain who feels no pain. But so that was like a weird. Yeah, there's like a lot of jumping around. A lot. I like the impressionistic metaphor a lot. I don't think I would have thought of that, but it
That's why I'm
definitely.
like, this feels like I'm getting clips together that I'm supposed to sew. Sorry, there's another metaphor.
Somehow.
God, help me.
Here, I'll say somehow jumping around. Oops.
Around.
Impressionistic. Oh yeah, you guys can actually see my mistakes this time. Usually it's hidden behind the video clip. Impressionistic. I might think that the jumping could just be OE. I might think that it could be consume or play because those are connected to OE. Maybe those could be double activated and still be OI. I'm trying to be a little conservative.
Yeah, I see this.
But in any case, those are just my initial thoughts. But I definitely and the hero thing. He's a hero. I'm gonna uplift this other person even though I didn't accept the compliment before.
He does it so often, but
Yeah.
we'll see more.
Hey, it's not on pain coats. He said, and I'm not no pain coats. Why not? Pain is there for a reason. What do you say to that? Okay, I think pain's there to tell you to take a pain coat.
That's what they tell you.
And then he went saw him, and he's just amazing.
It's delayed because we're filming and everything. It's kind of struggling to keep up right now, I think.
I see.
Yeah. All right, so what were you reacting to there?
Okay, hold on. Now I'm lost in the anger of this thing. I don't know, I thought it was just even that little comment he made about like, what do you say to someone saying that pain's there for a reason? Like, what do you say to that? Like, as if that's like a difficult thing to respond to. I don't know why that stuck out to me. I thought that was weird.
It sticks out to me too, but I don't know what to make of it.
Yeah, me
I
either.
don't know if I even wrote it down.
I didn't write it down, but I thought about it when I first watched it, and I'm thinking about it again now.
One thing that I kind of missed in our little viewing here is that he looks to the audience a lot.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, he does. I noted that too.
He's not on painkillers. Like, let me fill you in. Like,
yeah, he's talking. He's doing everything for the audience.
Let me bring you up to speed on that. Yeah, so I might write that down too. Some DE or play. So that kind of gives us like 2 little points for play.
Yeah.
Maybe blast if you're bringing them up to speed. I don't know, but then his communication style is kind of scattered, but I think that can be hard to interpret. Please play.
Hospital, and it was one bit after another. We sat and talked for a while. I got interviewed, and they said he looks terrible. I said, well, he generally didn't look that good to begin with. Every comic said the same thing. When you get on the first, they say that, you go, oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, no, AJ would love that.
Yeah, and so he said,
I think of that as kind of like a state change thing.
Okay, that's interesting. I feel like I was struggling to see state changes, honestly. I wrote down like 2 times.
I'd be curious to see what the 2 were.
If I didn't take good notes.
That's okay. Yeah, well, maybe we'll just see it as we go along.
Yeah, but that I did not catch. So tell me more.
Okay, it's like one way I think about state changes is that you're kind of like imitating a particular type of person. Like you enter like a particular like voice or something to like
help you through.
Put down that type of person, or like, oh, that's terrible. Like I think I'm like inclined to see this as like he's putting down like these press people who are like taking it too seriously, or like thinking you're being inappropriate to joke about someone's pain, or someone who's just gone through like a surgery that may have like changed the way that they look. So for me, it's like, I would say this for me is a point for like thinking about feeling, and like people who care people who care about like, oh, how inappropriate of it. You shouldn't joke about things like that. And he's like kind of like putting them as like the villain a little bit.
I still don't understand how that, you're saying his thinking is like savior thinking?
Yeah.
Can you like rewind in your brain? You don't need to play the
yeah.
clip, but just like give me a little more.
Yeah, so he's saying that everybody says that he's like looking terrible, and Tim, being a comedian, will like make the joke like he didn't really look that good to begin with.
Okay, yeah, you're.
And so all of the comedians are like, ha ha ha, like they like are making that joke.
And the press is like, you shouldn't do that. The press is the one that's
and the press is like, oh, that's terrible. You can't say things
okay,
like that.
I had it flipped, and I was like, that wasn't computing. Okay, got it.
So,
okay, now I understand.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yes, I'm with you. Okay. Oof.
I almost wrote, know what I mean?
Do you get it?
You can't say things like that. Wow, I now feel Dave's pain whenever he's like taking notes on videos.
What's the problem?
Like he like makes typos all the time. He like bitches about it, and I'm trying very hard not to be that person.
Oh, I'm proud of you.
Or like neurotically going back to correct it.
We hope speed recovery, Jay. We love you, bud. Yeah, it's a good deal. Thank you for the update on he probably wants another comic to come in and do jokes.
It was so stupid. He's all bandaged up again. Yeah, not pain. I kept looking at him. Can I use some? Because I'm in pain watching you.
You told me that you recently went on a safari.
Oh, yeah. Because of COVID, it's supposed to be whenever that was back in the 30s. It seems like years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, kind of like struggling to access. Like he's fine with the channel changing. That Jimmy's just like leading him all over the place, and he's like totally fine with you, and then he'll do it too. But I don't know, something about that. I wrote it whenever it was. Meh, who cares?
Oh, interesting. See, I was thinking like, kind of like making this. I saw stuff like that, but then I thought don't want to make the same mistake that I made with Samuel L.
Oh, yeah, I
Jackson,
know,
which
I
is
thought
like
of that too.
sometimes people just struggle to remember things and they need to like
Yeah, I
take
know.
a second
How
to.
do you know?
Yeah. So yeah, that's tough.
I don't know. I wrote it down.
Maybe it could be like feminine sensing if it's not.
Yeah.
But I
Maybe.
feel like this guy might have like some masculine something like IDK.
Do you have a guess on his type?
I don't have a
Like
full.
right now, if you had to guess. I'm feeling like he's close to my type.
Me too. Yeah, I am
Okay,
feeling
then.
like he's close to your type.
And I'm like, I don't know why that scares me. As I was watching this guy, I was like, oh, I don't know.
Did you? So you felt that way even like early on, or
Immediately, I was like,
Oh.
this. I feel like he's OE play.
Oh.
I don't know. We'll see. What do I know?
Yeah, interesting. Okay. I think that's really interesting that you latch onto that because, like, from superficial appearances, he would not look to be like. I would not think these people are similar in some way. Just looking at him, you know.
I mean, yeah.
I'd be like, I don't want to marry this one. Not today, Satan. Satan.
Satan.
All right. That's just a little inside joke for the two of
Vegans.
us.
No, we're not.
We're not
vegan. Sorry, I just
vegans.
made it look like I was vegan. I'm not. Okay.
All right.
Zimbabwe, Tanzania, Kenya, all through Eastern Africa, and the country's gigantic, number one. And I've been to Egypt and Northern Africa, which is no relation to Southern Africa. I learned that, but mostly it's a huge zoo, but it's the opposite. You're in a cage and there's animals running everywhere.
Yeah, you're living in
They're
the zoo.
in this little vehicle. I said, did they know we're here? Do they seem to care that you're there? So the best memory I have is driving up in one of these vehicles, and I looked, the guy says, "Come to your left, there's a lion." And you look, and I couldn't see it because he was literally, I could touch his nose. I went, oh God. And the lion's there. He goes,
You see what's right.
I can see that. Are we supposed to be this close? Because they don't care about us. All right. They care about the buffalo they killed on the other side of the road. Look over there, there's a dead buffalo with his butt eaten out. Whatever the lions, it's kind of a disgusting process, I guess.
Yeah. Let me see. I want to make sure that I haven't missed anything from my notes.
Why is he talking? He talks about butts twice.
When does he talk about butts the other time?
He'll do it with the candle, not the candle.
Oh, you're right. Oh my God,
What
you're
is it?
right.
The
Yeah,
thing out of the other comedian's butt is a candle.
yeah, a little like
And then
firework.
this animal talking about the butt. I just find that interesting.
One thing that I would say, so I feel, and this might be like a point in him being more like you, but I feel like with the sensory, he is like a little better at it than I am.
Me too.
You know, like
No, me too.
including more.
I don't know. I'm thinking like, how the hell do you remember the countries?
Yeah, me too. You traveled where?
What is FS?
You remember what?
What is
Feminine
capital F?
sensing. I
Oh.
didn't like notate that very well.
Okay.
And then the whole thing of like it was like a zoo but backwards or a zoo but opposite. I thought that was an interesting little like metaphor,
Me
but
too.
it's not like
But it's not a metaphor. Well, I mean,
you're like in the cage and the animals are around you. So that's like a very
I felt that was intuitive.
yeah, definitely intuitive. And so my question is like, how often is he doing that relative to like telling you where he went and all? Like, I wouldn't be surprised like just putting my cards on the table if he was like your type or like just like a TESI like closest version to your type, or even like TESE version of your type.
You think he leads with judgment? Or that was not the right way to say that. You know what I mean?
Decide like a decider
Yeah.
fiction. Oh, so you're even entertaining it. He could be like NETE or something like that. Oh, I mean,
Why not? I don't know the animals that well, and I think that's where I don't understand. Like those clearly will influence like the order of things.
yeah.
So I don't know.
Valid. Well, the animals could stay the same, and he could be NETE.
Okay.
So that is kind of inconsequential, at least.
I don't know. I guess if I had to pick, I'd lead with a decider function.
You would lead with
I
a decider
would, because
function.
I think he's just he constantly is talking about people. Even with this safari thing, he's talking about. Is he still talking about the safari?
Yeah, he's still on. He's gonna say more
Where
about
are
like
we?
an ass getting eaten out.
Right, that's right. The ass. Okay. He's talking about his dynamic with this driver.
You're right. Yeah, he does say more about that and like the communication and like
Yeah.
is this your first time? Like, what are you thinking, buddy? Like, sort of thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So weird. Like, out of all the things you could talk about, you went on a safari and you're going to tell us what
You're like-
your like little moment with the driver.
You're like, okay, yeah, there's a line or whatever. Okay, where it's like we're in a cage or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and there's something else that I thought maybe we could skip ahead a little bit since
Yeah,
we're kind of
sure.
on like a similar page here. Let's see. Get to the mouse.
And he does say one other thing before we move past the safari. I wrote down, he says something like, do they know we're here? Do they care?
The lions are.
Yeah, the animals. Like, that was, to me, I guess I'll finish my thought there, like to fill it in. But that also seemed very like DE.
Oh, like
Or
they're.
yeah, just-
you're, like even thinking about them as like
Yeah,
agents in the
right.
world that are, yeah. I think that's valid. I might
They start.
play them.
Yes, first. I've never seen it. Well, I don't know what they were doing. They weren't eating it. We're going like this. I said, what are they looking at? He goes, well, you never want to be between a lion and their prey. And I'm going, so you wouldn't want to be kind of where we are.
Yeah, exactly where we are
And the driver
right
goes, oh my, we should back up.
Yeah, hold on a second.
Yeah, like, it's the first time you've done this? Sure.
I want to mention, by the way, here's stand-up tour. You're going to be in North Charleston, South
Let's get
Carolina.
this little
Yeah.
plug.
I've been both of these places. This has been a year. This will be on my Leno goes out like 200 dates a year. I've been doing comedy for 30 years, same opening act. Now, my whole business got started on my first act was Home Improvement. I sold that. I've done this, and we were talking backstage about this. About comedy has changed a little bit. Unions. We're a burlesque union. Is really what it is.
Yeah, but part of me wonders if he's like older, and I'm like, he seems like he has like maybe some memory problems, and it's like getting up there, and so that gives me a little bit of pause, but I don't know.
People can steal your jokes. That's just what they do. Yeah. And we're all looking for a hook. So I'm doing this gig in Canada. When I first started out, and NBC wanted to see me at the time because I was getting this hook with this grunting and all this cool stuff. And
Yeah, I
I'm
love
following a
that.
guy named
I noted that.
Chris Lyman.
What about it?
I don't know. I just wrote it down. Hook with this grunting and all this tool stuff. I thought it was just like, I don't know.
It is
I don't
interesting for
know.
sure. Like if you just take that out of context and like present that to somebody.
Right. You're like, what? What are you drawing for me? It's again like,
Oh, okay.
oh, he's talking about his home improvement show.
Okay.
You've got tools all around and he's grunting, I guess. And
Mhm,
the hook is
exactly.
because it's comedy and that's what he calls comedy. Do the hook.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Find like the.
He's like simplifying everywhere he can, it seems like.
Oh, okay.
To me.
Take a little.
Oh, you can't see typing anymore.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we'll just show it at the end.
Huh.
All right. Let's keep going.
And you look at this, and his manager's introduced him butt naked, with the ugliest male body parts I've ever seen in my life from the back. They're not that handsome on any angle, but on a stool, you're going, boy, if you can see the unit on a stool, you're going, what the hell is going on here?
Yep.
The guy goes out butt naked, does his whole act, and ends. I don't know how he was holding it or where it was exactly, but he had a Roman candle sticking out of his rear end, and he's spinning around going, there's no business like show business. And he's spinning around, and there's a Roman candle going in the audience. And the guy goes, he goes out, he goes back, and the guy says, Tim Allen.
It's so hard to watch just because of his like. You don't really believe that, but you're just doing it because you're.
Oh
like,
yeah, and all he's doing is all he does is repeat what Tim Allen says.
Yeah.
I had a hard time only focusing on Tim Allen. I
Yeah.
was like, oh my god, this is wild.
The guy with a Roman candle in his rear end comes backstage on his way back, covered up. Excuse me. Like, oh, so now you're modest.
Now you're professional.
The whole room is filled with half smoke, acrid smoke, with NBC exec. Everybody have to go. What did I just see?
Yeah, you did it.
Yeah, I did the bit. Follow the bit in my career. Well, it's a cost.
Yeah, you did it pretty well. Yeah. I want to talk about your news.
He's like, the whole point of that story, Jimmy's asking him like, tell me tell me about your career, and he starts talking about this other dude's career.
Oh my gosh! And then like at the
And
end,
then at the
I
end, he's
guess
like,
I
oh,
kinda,
and then that was it for me.
Yeah. Wow.
But
yeah.
you've just listened to him talk about this dude with a candle in his butt for the last minute.
Yeah, and that was like
I was like,
the
what?
meat of it. So I mentioned a little bit about SE, or like it could be this, could be that. Like for me, some of the things that like make me theorize about SE, are like he says like the guy sitting on the stool had like the ugliest unit. Like I feel like
Yeah,
SEs often talk about things like that, like on the spectrum of like how ugly it could be. It was all the way cranked up here, but
Really?
yeah,
Today?
yeah, like you know, Donald Trump is typed SE and OP, and he's like
I see what.
SETI. He's like, well, you know, we have the biggest buildings, the prettiest cars. We have like, you're aware that there are like different kinds of cars you could have, and this one is like the spectrum
Oh
of
my
like
God.
how it can be compared to other like sensory things, right? But I don't know, like maybe not.
And see, I would have thought that was more of like a decider thing, because I feel like I don't personally know what something is like.
Excuse me.
Never mind, just forget it.
You don't know if it's like you
I
would
can't.
judge it in that way, or
Yeah, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know if it's ugly or not.
oh, okay. Oh, interesting. Interesting. I see.
How would I know?
Well, I think it probably is more common
But
to,
I guess I
to
would
make
know.
those kinds of judgments if it is like DI and OE.
Maybe.
But
Yeah, I feel like I'm in the weeds here.
You're getting back in the suit. Does the holiday, is it change for you now?
At this time of year, it's become kind of this iconic piece come back. And the only reason I wanted to do it, I'm kind of a sci-fi freak, and I want to make sure.
I wrote that down too.
Me too.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
State change.
Yeah, definitely. That is exactly what
Yeah, I wrote
so-
shy about being into sci-fi.
Yeah. Or shy about being low FI.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like,
That's
this
what I
is
was
my,
thinking.
like,
This is me. Oh, but I'm just gonna say it real quick.
Bashful. Yeah,
Yep,
bashful
I
about
didn't
it.
write FI, but
I didn't
it's
either.
right here
Oh, I did.
in sci-fi.
It is exactly. It's like right
Sci-fi.
staring us in the face. Yeah, cool. So I'm glad we both like
Yeah, me
locked
too.
onto that.
Nice. That seemed obvious to me.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and play a little more.
And the script arc. I never understood even in the movie why the elves, when I showed up at the North Pole, didn't go, hey, what happened to the other guy? Like if I just hop in the sleigh with the kid and we go off, nobody ever asks, is Mrs. Claus know that the other guy's dead? Did the other guy die? It was huge holes. Why does Mrs. Claus have a name? What's her first name? So we came up with this script.
This part did make me think of you actually, because he's like asking all these
I
questions.
know, me too. And I also wrote down from 6:30 to about 6:40, so we're like in the middle. Well, he'll keep ramping up, but
What the fuck are you talking about?
yeah, he's jumping around, and he even comments on interrupting himself. Like he's aware of how like unhinged he is.
That's one of Hillary's favorite words.
It's because I work in a high school and
The other
everyone
guy's
says,
dead? Did the other guy die? It was huge holes. Why does Mrs. Claus have a name? What's her first name?
He's not
So
answering
we
his
came up
question.
with this script. The Clauses have a family now, and they end up doing all these. They fill up the holes in all this. I should interrupt this. My kid was in it, and my youngest kid, I wanted her to be in it.
I love it.
I have so many thoughts about this
Go,
part. I feel like
please
this
go.
really like gives it away. So in this part, he's like, "Oh, my daughter was just going to read for a small part, but she did so well that she got the like lead daughter part for Santa's daughter." And to me, it felt like he was so like trying so hard to avoid being judged as being like nepotistic and like favoring his daughter or like getting the job for her. Like it wasn't about like, oh, she's my daughter and she's like special and privileged. It's like he has to rationalize it of like she did the job so
Yeah, for
well.
sure.
And so
For
he's
sure.
yeah, like just
That's
like
good.
putting down the
That's
like
good.
FI of it so much.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Just thought it was like
That's
so
good.
interesting.
That's
Yeah.
so good. I didn't write that down.
All right, let's wait.
It was the most amazing occurrence. She'll even say it. I get, no matter how mad I am. Yeah. I come on the set, big set they got there in Hollywood, and he's on the move, Stan's on the move, and I'm just mad and sweaty. I'm already mad. But you show up on set, you get adults, grips, camera people, sound, everybody goes, oh.
Yeah.
Because you become this thing, and I gotta stop sweating.
But what's an interesting story about your daughter getting cast because she's, how old is she?
There was 13 the day she started. The girl in the movie, Santa Claus is 13. And again, it was one of these audition processes that I just wanted
I know.
to say hi, Santa, as a Christmas gift as an elf. Just walk by.
It's gotta be something fun for you.
This one,
Your
my
wife
wife and I,
have-
she's great in school. My daughter's real good in sports. We just didn't want her getting this.
Yeah.
She read it so well. Drilled it.
She nailed it.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I have a picture of you in the it's so cute. And you're telling me you got real emotional.
Oh, well, this is a real emotional scene. This one comes out, the first two is they dropped, and now the series starts this week. And this scene, I'm trying to convince her, I want to retire and go back to Chicago, where I started the whole thing. And she says, I'm afraid. And I said, I get choked up. She goes, I'm afraid. Are you afraid? Have you ever been afraid, Dad? I said, of course. But I would be less afraid if we could be afraid together. And I'm doing that with my kid. I'm looking in her eyes and go, oh, it was unbelievable.
Everyone was crying.
Oh, everybody was crying.
It's awesome. It's heartwarming, but it's also funny. I tell you,
I
really
felt like
is
that
funny.
was a very
Peyton Man-
intense moment for him to talk about
I
for
think
some
so, too.
reason. And I
Yeah.
don't know if it's because I'm feeling it. I was worried he was gonna cry or
Lose it.
cough or something.
Yeah.
I had just like really felt
No, I agree with you.
that it was like intense for him.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think we've probably seen enough that we could like maybe just nail some stuff down because
Yeah,
we've been going
sure.
for 30 and
Yeah, let's get it.
yeah, I guess the other like pieces that we didn't really get to, he did that thing of like I'm walking around as Santa Claus and everybody's like, oh, You know, like I thought that was like everybody's like, oh, like my emotion, like I kind of like another state change around like people being kind of gushy with their little emotional side. And he did that a couple of times with like talking about Peyton Manning a little bit
Yeah,
later as
which
well.
right now, yeah. That's good.
Oh,
Here, you can just keep it running. I'll
All
just
right.
go turn it off. Okay, sorry.
I don't know why I took yours and just put it in my ear.
Heck yeah.
Gotta keep it warm
Gotta
for
keep
you.
it warm. Okay.
All right, so yeah, long story short, what can we do here? So
Do you want to bring that in the center or something?
well, here's what I'll do.
Oh.
I'll turn one of these off. Which one? Oh, not us, not that. Damn, last one. So I guess I feel pretty good about saying like TE somewhere.
Yeah.
So I'll go ahead and whoops, B
And beat
or
it.
not to be.
Oh, we're both looking at different. We
I
look like
know.
we're looking opposite ways. But we're both looking in.
That's so weird. Yeah, I guess I can watch over here, but
It doesn't matter. I feel like it's a little bit of a lag if you do that.
Yeah. All right. And then I think you and I are both seeing like the decider stuff, right? Like he keeps making it about like the guy who was with me, even though there's lions and there's like danger and chaos.
Yeah, it's weird.
Protecting that little baby, FI. So you think?
What have you done? Oh, you've okay, I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I don't really have a process per se.
I just want it to be obvious what ones you have
So it's just like
selected.
this, like
Bottom row.
8 right
Okay.
there. Yeah.
You mean 16?
Oh my God, you're right.
Okay. I just want to make sure I'm looking at the
I'm
right
saying
thing.
8 columns, and you're saying
Oh,
16.
okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay, like animal column. Anyway, I don't really know where to go from there. So, like, if we wanted to talk about,
Well, maybe I don't know. Do you want to talk about animal stuff?
yeah, let's talk about animal stuff a little bit. So, kind of going back to the question that I asked you last time with Samuel L. Jackson. Okay, so like, where is he energetically? Like, is he in the room? Is he not in the room? Is he all the way turned up? All the way turned
Pretty
down?
cranked up.
Kind of cranked?
Yeah, I don't know. I wrote down that of course I took my pen out, that he just seems super casual. I wrote super casual and underlined it in all caps.
I don't think he's info dominant.
I don't either. I think he's energy.
Yeah, so that would take off. Well, I'll just put the ones that it will leave on the table.
Yeah.
It'll leave these
Oh, okay.
and this one,
And then the final one.
and
I
then
see.
uh,
Oh, okay.
wait, this one
Oh.
with consume last.
Ah.
So either consume or blast last, yeah.
last.
And then, okay, so what could we differentiate here? So there's like play versus sleep. There's only one sleep on here. I don't know how I feel about that, actually. I don't have like a strong reaction to that. What do you think about being, yeah, like we said before, the omnivert versus ambivert thing? You said you think he's pretty turned up.
Yeah, so I think last time I did this, the measurement I use is I try to picture the person at a party
Right.
and leaving a party.
Okay.
And I don't know, I don't see him in the same way I saw Samuel. I see
Which
him.
was like he's kind of just like there.
Yeah, and he'd be there after it. Like he's not overkilling himself while he's there for some reason. And I feel like this Tim dude is like
More so.
more like that. I could see him just like passing out later somehow.
Oh, like he's gonna go until he
He'll like hit a
plummets.
limit at some point. I don't know why I feel that way.
No, that's good. So I think I'll go with you on that.
Really?
Yeah.
So
So to me, that's like saying that he's either blast play or play blast,
oh right, yeah.
and then
Right.
and then sleep consume. And then you think he's OE. I feel like a little more uncertain. I feel like I could go, well, I guess I'm overthinking it with like he could have some kind of mental condition. And even if he's like kind of chaotic, is that like was that where he shines?
Yeah, right. Right, or are those moments where he's tripping up?
Right.
God, he did it so much. It's hard.
Well, why don't we just lock in? I'll go with you this week on OE. I don't know why I'm creating all these spaces in a copyright. Okay, so TE, NE, or TESE.
I don't know. I think he has masculine sensing.
Okay. I can go with you on that. And then how do you think he is with other people? Is he like is he flowy with other people, or does he just like kind of come in with his own thing? Coming in hot.
I don't know.
I guess I guess
Okay.
part of me thinks he's double masculine. TE.
I don't know. Let's think.
Okay.
I'm scared. So if it's TESE, then he also has NI, and NI is what we would be seeing with the intuitive stuff.
Yeah. Kind of felt more like
I don't know.
NE.
It did.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with you on that. He's like a double masculine version of your type.
God.
So hey, don't be scared. I actually feel better about this one than I did Samuel L. Jackson.
Now, though, I mean, you have to. When you typed him, you're like when we watch independently. Did you have a thought about his type, like at all, like that gut, just like this is what I think.
Him?
Yeah, don't you?
I thought he was a thinker. I think in my gut I thought that, and I think in my gut I thought that he was a sensor. So
Oh shoot. Okay.
yeah, but
I mean, yeah, he he does.
But this is also a type where I think, being double observer, a lot of that's going to be kind of tough. So it's like, where would the freak out be? Is he like bothered by like the little details of reality, bothered by like the piece of mail, the whatever? Or is he like SE? It would be more like spooked about like there's some kind of like unseen like conspiracy, or like we don't understand what's really going on behind the scenes. All right. Yeah, it's a
All
close
right, we're
call.
done.
We're gonna call it.
Yeah.
40 minutes. So hopefully we don't need any follow up because we fucking killed it.
Maybe we'll follow up in 5 minutes.
We'll follow up and be like, deuces, we did great. Bye bye. All right.
Bye.
Bye for now. All right, part 2 of the video. Gonna be brief with this one. So let's see. We had typed Tim Allen.
Very similar to me.
Over here, similar to Hillary, but double masculine. And he ended up being MF, TINI, sleep, blast, play, consume. And so I guess technically we got 3 or 4 coins wrong, depending on how you would define it. But I still feel pretty good about this in many ways. So I feel good about getting like thinking decider, intuitive type, so NT type, consume last.
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't get this one. I don't get it.
Feeling disheartened by this one.
Yeah, I just literally do not understand it. I wish I could watch Dave and Shan explain it. I'm just not getting it. I'm just not getting it. Like, I could see Samuel L. Jackson's type.
Yeah.
I could, like, get on board with that a lot easier. Like, I was like, okay, all right, this one, I'm I don't know what it is, what
Yeah.
the disconnect is for me. I mean, I'm a beginner,
Right.
so I don't know like a ton of like exactly what I'm supposed to be looking for. I mean, that's part of it, but
Yeah.
I mean, you're right. There we did get some things right. Energy. Did you say energy?
No, I didn't technically say that.
I mean, we got decider.
Right.
I don't know. I feel like it's like grasping at straws though. Like after we typed him, I started to really like second guess a lot.
Yeah,
Way
me
more
too.
than I did in the first video, which may be.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Oh, and I started to I said like in my mind I was like watch him be like lead introverted functions. Like I don't know. I had a feeling.
Well, so yeah, and then
I don't know
another
why.
thing that like
I feel is cause for optimism is that we had been watching Larry David, and I was kind of using that to kind of teach Hillary about the concept of like sleep last, consume last, like the one way kind of like unidirectional talking. And you did say that you like detected some of that in this guy.
Yeah, I did. For sure.
This guy.
And Tim Allen.
I don't care who he is.
Yeah, whatever. It's the dude we just
Blah.
saw.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess. I mean, I feel like you. I feel a little like crestfallen about some things. Like I need to like refine what I'm looking for when I'm looking for things like DI versus DE, OE versus OI. Because he is kind of like chaotic with his speech, and so the question is like, well, what do you really look for then? One thing that we had talked about earlier is that he did remind me a little bit of, I think her name was Martha Beck, and she's like the INFJ version of this, so NITI, and she's also kind of like blah, like changing midstream when she's talking, and so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, one of my biggest like issues with OP, and again, it might just be because I'm a beginner, but like I feel like you could really argue different things.
right.
Like you just said, there's overlap sometimes.
Yeah.
Is this like weird chaos because of this or because of this?
Right.
How do you know?
Right.
I mean, clearly people like with people posting their guesses, a lot of people were like pretty close. A lot of people saw TI, and
Yeah.
I was like, I honestly didn't see. Jeffrey was the one who was like, I think he's T above F. I think I generally agreed with that, but from there I was like, I don't.
Yeah.
I guess by default it bumped me to say TE to agree with it because I thought he was DE for sure.
Right. So you were keeping.
So then that would have been TE. But beyond that, I couldn't have explained it. I think part of it too is I don't understand what TI like looks like
Right. Okay.
at all.
Right.
It's like elusive completely to me.
Yeah. Well, that's fair. So maybe that's something to like look into.
I would like maybe to watch videos of people who have like Savior TI.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds like a good project for the future, and we're both like very low energy, so I don't really have any other
I'm so tired.
thoughts. I mean, like even though this one is like two extroverted functions and this one's two introverted functions, they would be relatively similar in terms of their level of extroversion.
Okay.
Relatively, especially with like the double activated
Because of
blast.
the 3 in the top that we got.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
So, I don't know. I'm just gonna close it and hopefully get some feedback from other people. That could be interesting. So, all right. Bye bye for now.
Bye.